Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devops.school.
And now if you will check the Git status, it will say no commit yet, untracked files. Okay, and they mention the Git add file to include in what will be committed. So what this untracked means, let us see the get some idea on that. Okay, so there are two things here. Okay, so basically if a file goes through multiple a life cycle, so one is untracked. Okay, so untracked means the .git, right? .git didn't started to track this file, so that is called untracked. Okay, the second thing is and to go from untracked to unmodified, that is the next stage. You have to use git add only. So git add has multiple purposes. You can move to unmodified to modified as well using this same command git add. Okay, so untracked to modify, git add is used, and then from unmodified you can remove a particular file and then it will go to untracked again. The next stage is modified, means you make changes in the file. Okay, but you started to track it. Now you made some changes in that file, so that stage is called modified. You edited the file, and the last stage is staged. Okay, so means you are making that file ready, okay, to get committed. So it's a kind of, you are setting up that file to a platform, you can say, where um, you are parking the files that you want to commit. So stage is the just one step before commit. Okay, committing that file to .git basically, or git repo. So these are the four different stages where file goes. And here, if we will come back to this particular thing, currently it is saying untracked files. Okay, and there is one module one we have mentioned. Let us create another module. Let us create new, maybe Word document. Let us create Excel maybe. Now, so there are multiple files which are there. Okay. And if you will see Git status here again, okay, now you will see multiple files, right? Multiple untracked files. Okay, there are 3 untracked file which is there, and then there is one command with which you can add all the file. So one of the ways git add dot. Okay, so that will add all the file, and to where, to dot git. Okay, so basically changes to be committed. Okay, this, and they have mentioned use git rm minus minus hyphen hyphen cast file to unstage. So here they mention unstage, it means all these files are staged. So we have seen this particular uh, image where we have seen the file statuses. Okay, so now when you say unstage, it means you are on this stage status. Okay, staged. Okay, so we reached we have untracked, unmodified, modified past, and then after this git add dot, basically your file got added for staging, so got staged basically. And then last, and the command with which you can commit means commit to the repo, right? Commit to the version control system, or in general commit to .git, right? So this, when we talk about the snapshot of that change getting captured, that will be captured when you commit. Okay, so that is the command for committing the file. So minus, let me make it, make it a bit bigger. So now if you will see the git status, it will say on branch master nothing to commit, working tree clean. So all the files are committed now. Okay, all the files are there, getting tracked overall. So these are the very basic commands that you need to know as far as git is concerned to begin with. Okay, so the commands that we have used till now is git status, git add, git commit, and git init we have used initially to initialize the git repo, and that we have to do every time whenever we make changes. Okay, so now let us move a bit further, right? So when you have just initialized your, just started working on git basically, and you do the check in check out to remote repository or in git. Now what is your identity, who you are? There may be multiple users who are using git, right? So as for example, if a change occurred, who made that change, how that will be identified? So the command for that is git config global. So your username, okay, and then it is user email. So you told that .git that you are a user with this name and your, this is my email ID. Then in the commit, this particular information will be recorded, that from whom these changes came. Okay, so this is the command. You need to have the setup, and you can see this as part of the list. So git config So if you will see here this is recorded, right? Your email and the name that I provided. Okay, for a particular Git, right? In Git repo, this thing is going to be you can have only one this thing available. Okay, so skip. Okay, so git config is the command that is used to configure yourself, your identity basically, right? And when you start working on Git, this is a good practice to have the setup done for config. Okay, so now let us talk about this particular area, right? We talked about the file life cycle. Let us talk about the Git life cycle in general. So in Git, we have this working directory. Working directory means this file, this particular folder, right? So currently we are in this uh, C drive DevOps Git session directory. So this is our working directory. Okay, and then the staging area is the area where you when you have done git add dot kind of a platform setup, you can directly move to the commit as well. That is also a possibility, but this is a good practice to first keep your changes to the staging area and then move to commit to the git directory or git repository. Okay, so from working directory you do git add dot and then you move these files to the staging area, and after the staging area you do git commit to have that file move to have the changes move to the git repository. Okay, in any case, what it does basically, when you do git commit, basically it freezes that particular instance or that particular moment, right? So it takes a snapshot of the time of that instance or of that particular uh, you can say repository that you have, your working directory. It takes that snapshot of that particular thing, and that is stored in .git file. Okay, so this is about the architecture of simple thing. Okay, so there are three terms. Number one, working directory, where you are basically currently. Staging area means what are the files that you want to commit basically. As for example, you are working on 3 files and you feel that the changes that is happening that you are doing in other 2 files will take more time. Okay, as for example, let us see, let us go back to here, and then I will add a new text document, say w5 as for example, and I will make changes here. Okay, test 111. I will make changes here. I will save it, and what I will do is that what I will do is that git add, and I will say test 111. Okay, git add dot doc, git status. Okay, it is dot docx. Okay, now you say git status is only one, so still this is not committed. okay, and then we have staged just one file, okay. So it means that I don't want to track w5.txt because I am working on that, and it will not be w5, it will be a your code that you don't want to commit because you are still working on it, but you want to commit a particular file where you made changes. So this is what happens normally. What do you do? As for example, there are multiple teams working together, multiple team members working together in different geographical locations, and they want to they are working, right, they are making changes in the code. Then you are working on one particular mod. It is not possible that you will work on all different modules and all multiple files, say as for example, there are 100 files which are there, 10 different folders are there, so you might be working on one particular module, and on that particular day you might have changed one file only. In those cases you don't want to commit all the files and everything again, right? So you will just, and maybe you are working on 2 3 different files, but it is in the midway. So in those cases you will commit only the file where exactly you are working, and you are confirmed that the changes that is done for that file is complete, so you have done the testing and all. So this thing will come under that, and you will specify a specific file, and you do git commit, and let us see, there are w5 and test 111 there, and then so now this we have only one untracked file, that is w5. So you can have that commit done specific to space for a specific file as well. That is also a possibility. Okay, so the major commands that we have worked on is we talked about different git commands here, and mostly you will work on these commands, okay, to begin with. That is git init, git status, git add dot. Yeah, one of the thing is git log, right, because we have just done one commit, so it has that, no, two commits are there, right? So here you see all the commits which are done. So it's different commits has different commit id, and so that is there. Along with that, the commit messages. Okay, let us see a kind of a file which is much more than this thing. Let us see a file which is kind of a much bigger history. So Prometheus repo. So this is also in GitHub. Okay, and I want this file in my repo. Okay, so I want to copy, I want to clone this file. Okay, so that means any repo that is there. So this is a Git repo, and this is a public repo, and Prometheus is basically a monitoring tool. Okay, uh, okay, so Prometheus is hello, there is an echo if you are not speaking, or maybe what is it happening from my side? Hello, am I audible, guys? Okay, so let us so if there is a remote repository in GitHub, if files are hosted, okay, so how you can have your file there from GitHub to Git. So you might be aware about this command, Git Clone, and then and let us clone it to some other place. Okay, so let me go here.
Hello. Can't you just fork it straight from the Git repo?
Can you you are saying that forking
From the
directly
from the GitHub itself? Once you fork it, it clones it straight into your own container.
when you fork it, as for example, when you fork it from here, okay, so
Yeah.
you will move it to your, yeah, you can have it there in your you can say repository. Yes, that is the thing. So you can just do fork, and then it will be moved to your workspace per se, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct. But here what we are doing is we are just so now this came to my workspace and I can again clone it from here.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah. So we will talk about GitHub specific things as well. Yeah, but that is doable. Yeah. Okay. So if we will do this, let us do in this way only. So if we will do this, then if we will have Git clone, and let us first move to that folder. Okay, I don't want to keep it here. So what I was doing is that is C drive and folder Prometheus repo. Okay, let us move to this particular location. CD. Okay. Now do git clone. And you can have it here. This is a big size whole Prometheus repo, but even then it is quite fast as well. And let us see. So git clone is the command that we use to clone any remote repository. Okay. So what it will do? Why I am doing it? Because this has much bigger, kind of log information available. So that can help us to see that how Git is taking different, snapshots and all. It is done. Okay. Now if you will see Git log here. Okay, so Git init. Okay, because I have to go to the Prometheus directory. Okay, because we were on the we have to go to the Prometheus -1 directory where our code was there. So that is the file that now we are. If we will see Git log, and you can see all the different history, all the snapshots are available along with that. Okay, so whatever that is changes that is done, that is available here. Okay, so this is related to the Git log. So that is, this is another command. And now let us see. Now let us go a bit further on on Git. One of the file that is important. Now let us do one thing. There is one file. When you go here, right now this has so many files. So one of the files is Git Ignore. Okay, let us see what are the things that is there basically. So Git Ignore, what it does is that in your code there might be multiple files which you don't want to get considered. Okay, so Git Ignore has all those different so whatever that is there as part of Git Ignore, your when you will doing okay, Ola Wale, I will take your question in 5-10 minutes. Okay, so there is a question from Ola Wale regarding this. Okay, so there are this Git Ignore is the file where you want to put all those file information that you want to ignore basically. So as for example, if any files with this particular .yaml, it will be ignored, and .exe will be ignored. So all those files that you want to ignore, Git Ignore is the one where you want to have it. Okay, okay, so we have done Git Clone. Now let us move to um, understanding of this. Let us do a kind of a quick demo here. So as for example, where is our one? DevOps Git session, right? So now what we do is new do one thing. Let us move to this location. Let us create a file touch error.log, and let us create another file. It is .git ignore. Okay, so I created two files. One is .git ignore, and another is error or what I have error.log. That's fine. So I created two files. Okay, why it is not coming is okay. Now in Git Ignore, just mention error.log and just save it. Okay, now let us see Git status. So now if you will mention this particular file, okay, the error.log is mentioned as part of this one. Okay, so as part of Git Ignore. That is the reason why this particular Git we have added error.log as well here, but we are not seeing the option of this error.log as part of it. Okay,
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.